Hey guys, welcome to the second edition of my meet prep. This is week 2. First little clip here was working on some warming up. It was really cold in the gym this day, so I didn't want to mess around. Deadlifts are where I injure myself the most, especially my little hammy that I've talked to you guys about before. And so I take a lot of time to warm up, especially on cold days like it has been down here in Southern California. Here's one of my first sets, 405, still just warming up. My numbers this day, I believe I was getting up to 495 for a triple with the stiff bar here. I like to train my non-top sets, like I should say not top sets, but non 1 rep max sets with a safety or the stiff bar, just so I can get used to, I can add a little bit level of difficulty to it. Here's that set at 495. Everything felt really good this day. Getting in a good position here. Developing a good routine is key to any kind of deadlifting, for me at least. So I get in the wrong position at the bottom, I just don't feel right. Working up for 3 reps here. Everything felt really good. Next few videos you see will be me going 8x4 at about 65%. I'm doing a kind of a 1 1/4 rep, which means I'm kind of pausing off the floor as soon as I get to my knee. You see right there. Sumo stance deadlifters tend to struggle a lot off the floor, so I do these in my program probably every other week just to build my speed off the floor. Just essentially just to get more comfortable at the bottom, because I'm doing more work at that bottom range, just because, as you can see, I'm stopping there. Until got warmed up a little bit, decided to take the jacket off, decided to take the shorts off, and just go straight t-shirt and tights. No matter what temperature it is, if I'm feeling warm, I'm definitely going to go with just tights. I love just wearing tights. Like I said, all these sets felt really good today. Weights moving really smoothly. I'm really happy with how well the weights have been moving so far in the program. I haven't really hit a wall yet. First week, like I said, I had a little issue with my hammy, but I don't really consider that a setback and consider that just adapting to what I had going on that day. These sets are really grueling with the pauses, just because you want to be able to rip it off the floor. On this Monday, I had to go double day, kind of a deadlift and overhead press day, because I missed my overhead press the weekend prior, because I have a few clients that I go out and work with in Orange County, and I didn't have time Saturday, and I didn't have Sunday either to go out and get my lift in, because it was the weekend of the Fit Expo. Hopefully a lot of you guys down here in Southern California made it out to that. Great event. I love going every year. I think it's my 4th year going out. Just fun seeing all the people you see on Instagram and whatnot doing what they do. Really getting to meet them all. Work on this day consisted of seated military press, like you see right here, 3 sets of 10. I think I got up to 135 on my last set. This is a second set at 115. I've never been a good overhead presser. Used to play baseball, so I was never comfortable going overhead. Never really went overhead. Just didn't feel good. And now getting my powerlifting career, I've realized more and more that I need to build up this shoulder strength a little bit. I need to do that by going overhead a little bit. So as I do it more, I get more comfortable with it. Still not super comfortable with it. Feel more comfortable seated than I do standing. But it's still a work in progress, no matter what. You can see I get a little winded here in the last few sets. My shoulders get tired really fast. Watch these last couple of reps here. This is not something I usually like to do, which is a double day. It tends to take a lot of the energy out of the rest of my week. Luckily, I had a lot of pre-workout this day, so I kind of made it through this workout. Followed up those overhead presses with some floor presses here. That was 2 sets of 15 here. Again, I grabbed the 70s for this set. And then last set was basically rest pause. I kind of took that as an AMRAP set. Basically tried to do as many freaking reps as I could with that set. I can't even tell you how many I got that day. I think I got like 25 or 30. I was aiming for it with this lighter weight. Wanted a little bit more, but like I said, this was the tail end of a double workout. I got a little tired near the end of this here. Bench press is what I always struggle with, and I'm still trying to figure out kind of where I struggle. Some days I miss my lockout, some days I miss it off the chest. I'm just trying to figure out where I need to work on the most. So I'm just pretty much picking and choosing everything I need to do to get that bench press up, because that's the only thing that's holding me back from the total that I want. This is my AMRAP set right here. Looks like it. Yeah, getting up to get to 30 reps here. Finished up this day with some lat pull downs, just some accessory work, just to work those lats, work that back. Big backs, and equal big bench press, big squat, big deadlift. You can't neglect the backside. You cannot neglect it. These pull downs here, a little bit lighter than I usually go. I just like being able to feel a squeeze in the back. Follow these up with some bench over rows, just more posterior work, working on getting that upper back good and strong, so I don't hit a wall off the floor with deadlifts. My bench press, I can rebound the bar off my chest, and squats, I can focus on keeping that upper back tight and really squeezing back into the bar. Going 5x10 here with the rows, and 5x12 with the pull downs too. It's my cardio day. Come out here, do my jump rope and whatnot. I've never been a big fan of cardio, but on days that I don't work out or don't train hard, or lift I should say, hit one of the 3 competitive lifts, I've got to do something, otherwise I get super antsy throughout the day. So this is just me kind of getting something in, getting some kettlebell swings, some jump ropes. I think I went 1,000 this day, 1,000 jump ropes and 125 kettlebell swings. Did 4 of the 5 sets of 200 unbroken. That's pretty cool for me. Had a out of breath there, but felt really good. I've never really been one to enjoy it, cardio like I said, but I'm actually learning to kind of enjoy these days just to get some blood flowing. It helps me out a lot just mentally to know that I've at least burned off some energy. I'm an internal energy guy, which means I'm not going to be outwardly crazy, but I hold a lot of energy internally. If I don't have an outlet for it, it comes out really negatively, so this really helps me get all that energy out. Skipping right ahead to my bench day. This was my top set on this week. I got up to 265 for 3, pause on my chest. Bench press, like I said, is the one that hasn't been feeling the best, but these sets actually felt pretty decent. This week, and in the video you'll see in a few days for my previous week, sorry I have to catch up a little bit on these logs, guys. I had some technical issues. Bench press has actually been feeling better and better. Starting to find my groove a little bit, finding my positioning a little bit on the bench better, finding a more comfortable position. Once I got done with my top set, 265 for 3, I went down, dropped out of 60%, which is about 185 for me. I did 5 sets of 3 Spoto press. Spoto press is a really good way to help maintain tightness throughout the entire rep, because one of the biggest mistakes you see is when people fail is they get loose at the bottom of the lift and their elbows flare out, shoulders flare out, puts their shoulder in a really bad position. These Spoto presses make you remain tight because you're lowering the bar down to just above your chest, not bombing it, but controlling it down to just above your chest, where you can remain tight. Otherwise, you will not be able to press it back up. These I struggle with just because I suck at pressing, and just the added difficulty of having to stop any of that momentum from the bottom. Speed was pretty good this day, moving pretty well. I'm happy with how the weight was moving this day. Here's another set of this stuff. So I'm going open grip this time around again. I've had more success with open grip than I've had with closed grip. I usually have some elbow problems when I press with a closed grip, and it kind of carried over into some of my open grip stuff, or suicide grip, some people call it. But since I've gone consistently back to the open grip, my grip, or my elbow, has felt so much better than it has in previous months. Like some days I even press without the cup, my little compression cuff on it, I'm fine. Here getting some rows up, like I said earlier, trying to crush some more back just to get that back nice and strong. It's going to carry over into all 3 lifts. You can't neglect that backside. Here goes some chest supported. I like this exercise just because I can squeeze a little bit better. I tend to go lighter weights just so I can squeeze it. Fast forward to my squats on Friday. This week I was working on some pause squats. I was at sets of 5 at 55, 60, 65, 70, and 75%. Those numbers translate out to about 265, 290. Here you'll see my set at 315. It's 315. Sorry, my set at 315 here. Pause it. Coming into this workout, honestly, I was a little mentally defeated because it sounded really tough. Be able to get these higher percentage weights, hold them in the hole. It's a real taxing on me, just because I've never been a good squatter. I'm trying to figure it out. I finally have figured out some cues for me. For example, letting my knees come out a little bit away from, don't shoot them straight back right away like a classic geared squatter, but bring them forward a little bit. I wear lifting shoes, so it helps out a lot. I can shift my knees forward. And then also learning to, as I come out of the hole, kind of press back into the bar with my back, so I don't have to kind of good morning the weight up, because that's when I've run into really bad back issues. Here's my set at 340. It becomes really crucial at the bottom of, especially these pause squats. You see there, I do a really good job of keeping my chest up, driving back into the bar. Because like there, I didn't quite do as good of a job. When I get out of the hole and I don't press back into the bar, I feel loose, and I feel all kinds of crackliness in my back, and that's not a fun feeling. This day, I did pretty well with doing that back in the bar. Need a little bit of little mental help with this last set at 365. I'm supposed to do a 1 to 2 count in the hole. I can tell you 1 or 2 of these reps in here I don't hold as long as I need to, but it's more of the stopping the momentum at the bottom, not necessarily the length of the stop, that I'm worried about right now. Weight moved pretty well, actually. Get to this rep, press back in the bar really well. You'll notice on my 4th rep here in a few seconds, like right there, I didn't really pause very well. You'll notice on my 4th rep, after this coming up on right about here. There you go. I kind of struggle. I hit the multi-grip bar behind me. That's why I take a step up right there. That's why I'm taking a step up. I didn't almost lose the bar. And this last rep was actually, I think, my best when I was pressing into the bar. Even though it didn't move as fast, with everything that kind of went on during that set, I'll take it. After that, I moved on to some front squats. I had 50, 60, and 70% of my front squat max, which is about 345, 350. This set right here is at the 245 number. It's a safety bar. The reason there's only 2 plates on there is the safety bar is only the bar is 65 pounds. And I said this in my other video, I use a safety bar just because I've got kind of a left wrist, hand, finger. I don't even know what kind of issue on that hand. I tend to, my ring finger will lock up on me if I use a straight bar for front squats. So I just try to stay away from front squats or any kind of front racking, just so I want to avoid my finger locking up on me, because it's just not fun. And I can also do a little bit more overload with this bar because it's in a little bit better position. I can load myself in the front still to simulate the true front squat, but I don't tax my forearms, my biceps, and my upper back too much, so I can't overhead press the next day or deadlift on Monday. Here's my top set: 275 for 8 reps. This is a grinder. Front squats for reps are always struggle with me. I struggle to breathe. I know a lot of you guys feel that too when you're front squatting, especially when you get into the higher reps. Hard to breathe at the end of it, just because the weight's crushing you from the front. That's just how I feel, at least. Like I said, early in the week, I had to do overhead press to make up for the last weekend. This is my actually scheduled overhead press day. On this overhead press day, I ended up going 3 sets of 10 3 sets of 8. And I started at 135 because I felt really good the week prior with the 135 for the 10. So like, hey, I should at least start at this for 8. Top set of this one, I ended up at 155. This is only my second set right here. My third set, I ended up at 155. Felt pretty good. It's been cold recently, so I had a jacket on before this. Did a little bit of warm-up, didn't film that. But elbow's been feeling good. You see my cuff there. Elbow's feeling good. Shoulders are feeling halfway decent. They're not too bad. So the overhead pressing and the bench pressing have felt good. Not quite progressing as I would like them to, but they're feeling a whole lot better than they have in the past. So third set with the 155, you'll see me struggle a little bit more. Try to go open grip on this too, just because it feels good on the elbow. First rep's always dicey for me because I don't feel like I'm in a good position. Then once I get grooving, I get into a little bit better position with my body underneath the bar for overhead pressing. Like I said, I've never been a good overhead presser, but getting into a rhythm really helps me get going. And here you see again, some floor pressing. This day I moved up to 75, so away from the 70s I went from last week. 70s didn't feel like they're enough of a challenge, so I decided to go up this week. I had 2 sets of 12 this day for the working sets, and then 1 set at the end for my max reps. I believe this is my max rep set right here, actually. Ended up getting, I think, 25 with this number, with these weights right here. 25 or 30, I don't remember. If you can count, go back in the video and count this. I'm not going to do it right now. Felt really good. Triceps, or my pec actually started to cramp up a little bit at the end of the set. Floor presses always kill my pecs. Supposed to help out with that lockout, but they always destroy my pecs. Start cramping up a little bit. I'll start doing a little flail kick in the air here in a second. Yeah, you don't want to do that when you're floor pressing, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get the weight up sometimes. Some more lat pull downs to finish up the week of training. Keep building a big back. Big back means big checks. Big checks means I lifted a whole lot of weight, which is the goal, guys. It's a wrap on this week's of training, guys. Here are the sponsors, the Mark Pro, and then NutriShop, Glendora, West Covina. Appreciate you guys. And then the ability to train at the 212 Training Center, Posey Sports Performance at the 212 Training Center. Catch you later, guys. Stay strong.